Hi, this is Roy Schilling for Agile Principles, Raw and Uncut. I'm here with my good buddy, Phil. How you doing, Phil?
I'm doing well, Roy. How about you?
I'm doing great. We're going to be talking about an interesting topic that at least I find it interesting. It's one of the Agile Manifesto values about individuals and interactions. So, Phil,
Mm.
let's talk about that manifesto item. It's one to me. It's one of the more important values. What are your thoughts about this one?
Yeah, I mean, you have been a really, excuse me, awesome evangelist about this regarding transforming how people think about Agile. Because a lot of times when companies think about Agile, it's all about what's in it for us, what's in it for the bottom line, how's it going to affect us revenue wise and stuff like that. But you have sensitized me and a number of our students to the importance of the human factor. I remember there's a slide that you typically show and you ask which of these is most important on a project.
Success
And you have,
sliders. Yeah, I love that slide.
yeah, that slide. And you kind of sensitized us to the importance of the people piece. So I started thinking about it a lot differently. And I think in the world of predictive, a lot of times we think about the processes and the tools. And I mean, the PMBOK Guide is a prime example. It's a 756-page book. And honestly, 90% of it is talking about processes and
Hmm.
stuff. Maybe a tiny little piece talks about the individuals and even in stakeholder management, where they have a whole chapter on it. Majority of that chapter is about the tools and techniques used
Yes.
to govern the engagement of stakeholders, but it doesn't really talk about the interactions and the mindset as much as it should.
Yeah, I agree. And that stakeholder management concept is a really good intro into that. So you can use all the tools you want to, but if you don't have a relationship with your stakeholders, it's not going to help you in any way. So
Mm.
this one is really important to me because especially when dealing with people that are coming from the predictive world. In the predictive space is, like you said, it's all about processes and tools, and there is value in the processes and tools. We're not saying there isn't value in those things, but the processes and tools are about the how. It's
Mm.
about the specific things that we do in order to achieve certain results. But if you don't have the right people, and if they don't know how to interact with each other, they don't have good relationships with each other, if they don't have good behaviors, then I don't care how good your processes are or your tools are, it's not going to solve the problems of your organization. And I say this all the time. This is not an agile concept. This is not about agile. Processes and tools are valuable, but it's the people you hire, how they interact with each other. That's what gets results, not the process and tools. And my challenge is that I often see that, heavyweight hierarchical kinds of organizations put these processes and tools in place for control. Right? They
Mm.
view it as a control mechanism. They have toll gates and stage gates and policies and procedures, and all these things can be of value, but they're awesome. They're awful heavy, right? And many
Mm-hmm.
times they're very, very heavy,
Mm-hmm.
and that restricts individuals and interactions. Here's an example. If you have an individual that gets all their work done and they're doing fine and they're being, getting great reviews because they get all of their work done. Well, that's great, but how does that solve the bigger problems of working together as a team, getting the team's work done, achieving the
Mm.
goals of the organization? That individual has gotten their reward, but the team fails, right? Or the organization
Mm.
fails. It's all about the people and how they relate with each other. What are your thoughts, Phil?
I think you're absolutely correct because a lot of times there's a focus on the solo rewards that people get,
Yep.
and we don't stress the importance of interacting even as a team,
Mm-hmm.
and then we don't stress the importance of interacting as stakeholders, period. We're all stakeholders, but a lot of times it's siloed into customer,
Yeah.
sponsor, team members,
Mm-hmm.
and it begins to develop an us versus them mindset.
Yeah.
So we need to
It's even enforced by the RACI charts, right?
Oh dear, let's
Yeah,
not
that's right.
even
You
go
put a
there.
RACI
Oh
chart in
dear.
place and no, this is that person's job, right? If you want this done, you go to that person. Stop
Yes.
that, right? It's about getting the work done, not about necessarily who. So it's this is so vitally important for organizations to recognize the value of the individual, how they interact as a team member. Don't just hire based on skill set. Hire the right people. Hire for those soft skills. It's easy to teach the hard skills. It's difficult to teach the soft skills. So hire the right people and encourage that in those individuals in their interactions.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Roy, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye
Sounds
for
good,
now.
Phil.